Sad details about Denise Richards' life.
In recent years, Richards' profile has quieted down significantly, and her face is no longer a mainstay on
A Hollywood it couple turned cautionary tale. For a stretch in the early 2000s, fans couldn't get enough of Denise Richards and Charlie Sheen. They were one of those power couples you couldn't help but watch, marrying in 2002, welcoming their first child, Sam Sheen, 2 years later, and seemingly living a dream. But by 2005, while pregnant with their second daughter, Lola Sheen, Denise filed for divorce.
My marriage failed, so when you talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so many people in the world go through divorce.
That's when the ugly details started pouring out. In documents, Denise claimed that Charlie had been acting out of line toward her, was using, and had an out-of-control gambling habit. She also cited excessive use of adult entertainment, painting a picture of a man spiraling in some wild ways. Though Charlie fiercely fought back, it was clear their situation had become toxic. Denise maintained that her top priority was protecting her 2 daughters, telling the press that she never intended for the conflict to get so public, but felt forced to seek the court's protection. What followed was a roller coaster of allegations, not just about aggression, but even bizarre claims, like Charlie accusing Denise of wanting another child with him for his sperm. Denise snapped back in a jaw-dropping interview, slamming the notion as disgusting. The two flung hurtful insults at each other in the media, fueling gossip pages for years, losing her mother during the height of unpredictability. If navigating a toxic divorce while raising 2 kids wasn't enough, Denise soon faced one of the darkest chapters of her life. Joni Richards passed away from cancer in November 2007, at a time when Denise was already reeling from the ongoing custody feuds and constant media scrutiny. Joni's loss was devastating. By that point, Denise had developed a very different outlook on life. She spoke candidly about how the tragedy reshaped her priorities. No longer was she interested in being a people pleaser, focusing instead on being a stable mother to Sam and Lola. Denise honored her mom by dedicating herself to raising awareness for the Kidney Cancer Association. She even organized a booth at Wrigley Field, the Chicago Cubs being Joni's favorite team, for fundraising. Later, she partnered with Shoe Dazzle to design limited edition heels, directing proceeds to the same cause. It was her way of turning personal heartbreak into a mission to help others grappling with similar struggles. On the 15-year anniversary of her mom's passing, Denise posted a heartfelt Instagram tribute, emphasizing how deeply she misses Joni every day. The post offered a rare glimpse of the actress's vulnerability, reminding fans that behind her confident red carpet persona is a woman still coping with profound grief, balancing motherhood, TV stardom, and a tabloid past. Despite all these hardships, her father still living in California, her ex-husband's headline-making antics, and the weight of her mother's absence, Denise managed to carve out a career that spans modeling, film, and reality TV. She made waves on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, opened up her home in It's Complicated, and continued snagging acting roles. But the shadow of Charlie Sheen's unpredictability still loomed over her personal life. In many interviews, Denise stresses that her children's well-being is her ultimate focus. She's taken the high road numerous times, stepping back from public mudslinging for the sake of family harmony, though that doesn't mean it's been easy. The divorce documents and scathing remarks made it clear her life was anything but the dreamy Hollywood narrative we often expect of starlets. Charlie Sheen's eviction drama. Denise Richards and Charlie Sheen once seemed to have found a stable point in their famously rocky relationship. After years of battling for custody over daughters Sam and Lola, the Two and a Half Men star allowed Denise to have full rights in 2010, while he reportedly shelled out $50,000 a month in child support. For a hot minute, fans thought the exes might finally be co-parenting in peace. But by 2016, the story took a nasty turn when Denise claimed Charlie abruptly kicked her and the girls out of a house he had bought near his own residence. She insisted he'd originally convinced her to move there so the kids could spend more time with him, and that she uprooted her life under the assumption that co-parenting would be easier. According to Denise, his reversal blindsided her, and she sued him for $1.2 million. Insiders from Charlie's camp insisted money was the real motivation, pointing out how Denise had already received tens of millions from their divorce settlement. One source told Page Six that, from their perspective, she should have been happy with the huge payout and continuing child support checks. Denise's defenders, on the other hand, argued that the home was never about cash grabs. She allegedly wanted to make father-daughter bonding more feasible and ended up with an eviction notice. Then came the news that Charlie eventually stopped paying child support altogether in 2021 when Sam decided to live with him. One friend of Denise insisted the meltdown proved her ex-husband's unpredictable nature, saying that as soon as he got angry, it was back to square one. The he said, she said made headlines for weeks, stirring up more drama than either of them likely anticipated. Denise Richards' harrowing car chase. Denise Richards may be no stranger to filming over-the-top action sequences, but nothing could have prepared her for the real-life terror she experienced on the road in November 2022. She was riding in her husband Aaron Pfeiffer's truck when an aggressive driver began tailing them so closely that they feared a collision was imminent. As the stranger's frustration escalated, he allegedly pulled up alongside them, accusing Aaron of having cut him off. A shouting match broke out, and then the other vehicle sped off. When they finally arrived at Denise's filming location, both she and Aaron realized the altercation was far from harmless. They discovered that the back of the truck had been damaged from a high-speed projectile. Understandably rattled, Denise later spoke about the incident on Jeff Lewis's SiriusXM show, describing it as a moment where she lost her cool and started screaming. She nearly jumped out of the truck in sheer panic, and it was Aaron who pulled her back to safety. Denise said the entire confrontation felt like a bad movie scene, except there were no second takes or stunt coordinators to keep anyone safe. She speculated that the man may have assumed they were someone else, as the truck's windows were heavily tinted and they happened to be in a crime-prone area of Los Angeles. She also acknowledged that she didn't handle the chaos well, feeling anything but prepared when faced with a potentially life-threatening situation. The whole, she said, was a chilling reminder of how quickly an everyday drive can morph into something straight out of a thriller. Rumors swirling around Denise Richards' husband, Aaron Pfeiffer's. Denise's second marriage to Aaron Pfeiffer's offered a respite from her earlier drama with Charlie Sheen, at least for a while. Yet, in 2024, new reports surfaced that Aaron was grappling with a messy financial dispute. According to In Touch, he was sued by a creditor after borrowing $190,000 2 years prior and then defaulting on the repayment. While Aaron supposedly tried to settle with monthly $10,000 installments, he stopped after just 4 payments, prompting the lender to seek a hefty $228,000 judgment. That was just the beginning. In November 2024, People reported another suit involving Aaron, this time a fraud allegation tied to his holistic wellness center. A couple claimed Aaron had promised cancer-eliminating treatments, said he'd refund half the payment if the therapy failed, and ultimately never honored that commitment. The couple, who forked over $126,000, later discovered that the patient's tumors had not only failed to shrink, but had grown. After the woman's passing in May 2024, her husband demanded the agreed-upon $63,000 refund, but Aaron never paid. Documents suggest the husband's efforts to serve Aaron with notice have been complicated by the apparent closure of Aaron's practice. Court papers show the business location was vacated, and the husband insisted that tracking Aaron down proved impossible since records didn't list any new address. All of this cast an unwanted spotlight on Denise Richards, who was by then recognized as a reality TV personality on shows like The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Though she wasn't named in the suits, onlookers had flashbacks to the complicated finances plaguing many housewives' husbands. Her defenders claimed she played no part in Aaron's alleged misdeeds, while critics wondered if the ongoing drama would test the couple's relationship. Some also recalled how Denise faced her own public discussions regarding money, like the blow-up with Charlie Sheen, and noted it was ironic to see more financial disputes enter her life. What do you guys think about Denise Richards? Let me know in the comments, and I hope you have a great day.